can see a line right there, if you can even see it. Don't think you can. I'm thinking you probably cannot see very much down in here, especially with the camera. I can't zoom it. I will probably be cutting a lot of the video out. So let's see if I got it bent out enough now. The rod has the end of it is like cut half off. Okay, and so what it is, it has a cut in the end, a slice on the end that's cut off, and that has to fit. There we go. Okay, what I did was I just used a pair of pliers, and there's a little clip on there. I squeezed the end of the clip to hold that little rod better, and then that allowed me to slide it on. Now, I'll go ahead, put this little nut and bolt that slides in here, and just get that in there before it pops off, and tighten it down. Screw that on there. You probably can't see that too well because it's down pretty low. I'll try to get a better set of camera holders so I can move it around like close up and stuff. Okay, careful not to bend anything because this is all pretty thin metal, but you want that snug down pretty good. Okay, you don't want that popping off. Now, I'm looking at my springs. They're all okay. This one looks like it might have popped out a little bit. Looking a little funny. So I may have bent that a little bit, but it looks like it's got a little curl around. This is all in there fine. Okay, that works. All the springs, when it's pulling, all the springs are doing okay. Now, I'll go ahead and just push that up against there. Make sure this is on the gas hose. Okay, it's not dripping. Don't know if that means it doesn't have any gas. I don't think it has any gas, but not much gas in it, so that's not necessarily a good sign. I've got some, I did a whole big roundabout here because I had these filters and I wanted to use them. These are the Chinese filters I was talking about that seemed to leak a little bit of silicone, but they work. And since I cleaned the carburetor anyway, I guess I figure I'll use them. And this is, let me show you, go ahead and pull that off. This little hole, this nipple that's sticking out here with the hole in it, that's where the engine breather goes into, the crankcase breather. So you have to kind of slide this on and then push that onto here. Also, this filter's fairly clean because I did that pretty recently. So there's not much room for this little tube. It sticks out of the engine. You don't want to pull it out of the engine either. And go ahead and slide that on. I'll come around over here. Not really much room. I have to doesn't look like it's real tight, but it's just there's not much room. If you have big fingers, you're going to have a hard time without taking your muffler off. But that'll do it. That's just to get the gases that are made inside the crankcase into your carburetor. Now, problem is I forgot my gasket. That's the thing about, I guess, being on camera. It's pretty easy to get distracted. Okay. Then I have the, remember I marked it on out. So I'll put that on the out side. And back to putting it together again. Okay. Okay. Let's go back over here. Pop the tube on again. Okay. Not on yet. There we go. Crankcase breather tube is on. Put these back in here so I don't lose them. I've got some small screws that hold the air filter on, or small nuts, and they screw onto the intake studs, intake flange studs, I guess you would call them. Okay, and I'm sure that in the repair manual, I haven't looked at it in so long, I don't even remember if they have the parts listed, but so they probably have an official name, but they're these nuts are screwing onto the studs that stick out of the engine, and that is what holds your carburetor and everything on. And if you have a cat like I do, to keep the mice and the rats and squirrels and whatever else that try to get in your shops away, you just kind of got to put up with them. But she's a good cat, doesn't give me too much trouble. And I don't have any mice or rats or squirrels, which in the country, if you live out in the country, you know that if you mow your field, you will get rats and mice and all kinds of animals that'll run out of the place where that you're mowing to where you're living. So her job is to take care of all that. Okay, and because she's a cat, she likes all the attention. If you're giving attention to anything else, she wants to get in there. So just snug these down. You don't have to over tighten them. You should just have to snug them down, and you can go back. You'll know. Go back later after you've ridden it a little while and check them when you're riding it, and then you'll get an idea of how tight you can tighten them, where they'll stay tight and not fall off. And don't just go over tighten it, but then don't under tighten it either, because if you under tighten it and they come off and you're riding somewhere, then you're going to end up pushing it back. Alright, as you notice here, I don't know if you can see this. Get this out of the way. I've got a tie down, that's what I'm using to hold it onto the bench, so I can push on it and everything and not have to worry about it falling over. Alright, so I'm going to take it down. Alright, kitty cat. Down, and we'll get it started. See if I can chop this video up enough to put it all together and make it into just one video. Alright, I'm just going to pull this over here. them down. I suppose if you're taller, you can just pick this thing up and put it on the ground. And just put the back brake on. Okay. Alright. Now, we'll see if it starts. If not, I'll make another video.